As the time goes by and we enter 1990, now with the start of a new decade, Metallica started the new decade as best as it could. Winning a Grammy, unlike the unsuccessful nomination of the previous year for One, and tons of successful sold-out shows, and even another Grammy in 1991 for the cover of Queen's Stone Cold Crazy on Elektra Records' double album Rubaiyat for label's 40th anniversary. With all these glories, Metallica entered the new decade in the best way possible, and everybody was waiting for their next move. The band was thinking a lot about their next record, and as always, they gathered up some ideas and riffs and melodies, and they tried to figure out what kind of direction and a path they should follow. Should they write a thrashy album again with their producer Flemming Rasmussen, or should they go and write some more popular songs like One? It was a hard choice for the band at the first sight, and many people could sense that the second path would actually be chosen by Metallica, because the next chapter of their career should be growing much bigger and being able to gain more serious fanbase in the world, since they had the necessary potential within the band. And so with the label's cooperation, they went hunting for a well-known producer who previously worked with bands like Bon Jovi and could present them hit songs they were eager for. A famous producer that was none other than Bob Rock. Metallica's new album and the various songs they had selected from ideas to record in a studio now were shorter and catchier, unlike their previous approaches, and Bob Rock at some points forced the members to rethink about their songs and even change them to become more radio-friendly, unlike their previous experiences. For example, in Lars' drum parts, Bob even pushed him toward more practicing and being more precise. He even forced James to change some of his lyrics. Nobody had ever told James to change his lyrics, and that was a tough challenge, but James changed some of the words of his verses and choruses so they could be more impactful on audience's mind, and even he wrote some catchier melodies and riffs. A different approach that with a nice and slow song called Nothing Else Matters that we all know as a phenomenon pop rock song that James had written a long time ago and didn't dare to show anyone in longing for his girlfriend Christine, became a massive and totally change of direction that could go along with Enter Sandman and My Friend of Misery and Sad But True and even The Unforgiven and Wherever I May Roam with its magical sitar riff became a massive and totally change of direction for the band. Songs that could dominate the world at another level that no metal band ever had been able to experience it before, and now this album could bring a different musical direction for the band that no one was even ready for it. A self-titled album, which of course was called Black Album because of its black sleeve and cover. This new approach from Metallica, although at the time of its release made many of the band's die-hard fans furious, but with its massive success, it could become a new turning point in Metallica's career and made worldwide hits from the band that nobody in metal scene was capable of making. If I want to tell you a little bit about themes of this album, the main focus of the band on this record was on personal themes and stories like rejection, depression, anger, and even love. Extraordinary songs like The God That Failed, that was the story of James' mother, and The Unforgiven, which indeed was the story of James himself. Songs that were well received and praised by many music fans around the world and even could introduce many people to Metallica. A revolutionary record that could turn Metallica from a normal metal band to a world-class superstar. One-of-a-kind record that could turn Metallica members from a normal metal band to world-class superstars, and even in terms of The Unforgiven made me, the narrator of this story at age 14, a totally different person. A song that I had found in a CD during my teenage years and introduced me to a new world of insanity and changed me forever, and parts of it became a project of my channel and other things that I have done, and it is the magic of Metallica. A praiseworthy collection of art with James Hetfield's flawless vocals and its astonishing musical sound, and even Jason Newsted's unforgettable bass lines in My Friend of Misery that became the symbol of transition in the music of a band that up until then, with James Hetfield's Macho Man vocals, offered sharp and raw and aggressive songs that only metalhead nerds enjoyed, and now was changing the entire spectrum of metal music.
Say your prayers, it's a one. Don't forget my son to include every I felt, what I've known, never shine through so close, no matter how far. And the road becomes my parade. I am stripped of all. Hey, hey, I'm your life. I'm the one who takes you there.
With over 10 months' non-stop work in the studio and over $1 million cost, this album could offer a one-of-a-kind blockbuster in music history and put all music fans in awe. A super consistent and memorable album that could stand at #1 spot of the Billboard chart for the first time for Metallica and even got them a Grammy nomination for Enter Sandman. Now Metallica was the biggest heavy metal and even rock band of the world, and a little while later, the band could perform an unforgettable show in Russia in front of 500,000 or 600,000 people, as James recalled in Joe Rogan podcast. One of the best performances of the all time, as many people entitled it, and according to some unofficial estimations, many people stated that the population of the crowd of the Monsters of Rock festival in Russia was bigger than 600,000 and was close to 1.5 million people in celebration of Soviet Union's collapse, and many eager Russians were banging their heads to Metallica.